The life of Frederick Douglass. From slavery to freedom and beyond, Frederick Douglass stands as one of the most powerful voices in American history. An eloquent orator, tireless abolitionist, and living proof that the human spirit can triumph over even the most brutal circumstances. Born into slavery, Douglass rose to become a national leader in the fight against injustice, using his voice and pen to challenge the very foundations of the American system. His journey from bondage to becoming an influential statesman is not just a remarkable story of perseverance, but also a vital chapter in the American struggle for civil rights. Early life and enslavement. Frederick Douglass was born as Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey in February 1818 on a plantation in Talbot County, Maryland. His exact birth date remains unknown, a common reality for enslaved people who were denied even the basic acknowledgement of their humanity. He was separated from his mother, Harriet Bailey, shortly after birth, and never knew the identity of his father, although it was rumored to be a white man, possibly his master. The horrors of slavery shaped Douglass's earliest memories. He was subjected to hunger, cold, and violence, like so many other enslaved individuals. As a young boy, he was sent to Baltimore to live with the old family. It was there that his life took a pivotal turn. Sophia Old, the wife of his new master, began teaching him the alphabet. Although this effort was quickly forbidden by her husband, who feared that education would ruin a slave, Douglass had already tasted the power of literacy. He continued teaching himself to read and write in secret, realizing that knowledge was the key to his liberation, escape to freedom. As he grew older, Douglass was subjected to the brutal realities of plantation life. He was sent to a notorious slave breaker, Edward Covey, who sought to crush Douglass's spirit through relentless physical and psychological abuse. But Douglass refused to be broken. In a courageous act of resistance, he fought back against Covey. Though he was not punished for the altercation, it marked a turning point in his life, one that reaffirmed his determination to escape bondage. In 1838, at the age of 20, Douglass successfully fled to the North by disguising himself as a sailor and using forged documents. He eventually arrived in New York City and then settled in New Bedford, Massachusetts, with his wife Anna Murray, a free black woman who had helped him escape. In the North, he adopted the surname Douglass and began his new life as a free man, but he never forgot those he left behind. Rise as an abolitionist leader, Douglass's eloquence and powerful storytelling quickly caught the attention of Northern abolitionists. In 1841, he gave a speech at an anti-slavery convention in Nantucket that launched his career as a public speaker. He soon became a prominent lecturer for the American Anti-Slavery Society, touring the United States and Europe to advocate for the abolition of slavery. In 1845, Douglass published his first autobiography, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. The book offered a gripping, first-hand account of slavery and quickly became a bestseller. However, the book's success also put Douglass in danger, as it revealed details that could lead to his recapture. To avoid this, he traveled to the United Kingdom, where he spent 2 years speaking to packed audiences and gaining the support of British abolitionists, who ultimately helped buy his legal freedom. Publisher, writer, and political activist, after returning to the U.S. in 1847, Douglass founded his newspaper, the North Star, which served as a platform for anti-slavery messages and broader issues affecting African Americans. His slogan, "Right is of no sex, truth is of no color, God is the Father of us all, and we are all brethren," captured the essence of his inclusive vision for equality. Douglass was not only an opponent of slavery, but also a passionate advocate for women's rights. He was the only African American to attend the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848 and was a strong supporter of Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. He believed that true freedom could not exist unless it was granted to all people, regardless of race or gender. As the United States inched towards civil war, Douglass worked tirelessly to influence public policy. He advised President Abraham Lincoln and urged the enlistment of black soldiers in the Union Army. When Lincoln eventually signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, Douglass saw it as a monumental but incomplete step. Freedom without equality was not enough. Post-war efforts and legacy after the Civil War, Douglass continued to fight for justice during the Reconstruction era. He held several government positions, including U.S. Marshal for the District of Columbia, Recorder of Deeds, and U.S. Minister to Haiti. Despite these appointments, Douglass remained a critic of the slow progress in civil rights for African Americans, particularly in the face of rising segregation and racial violence. He published 2 more autobiographies, My Bondage and My Freedom, 1855, and Life and Times of Frederick Douglass, 1881, which further detailed his life's work and expanded on his political philosophy. He became one of the most photographed Americans of the 19th century, deliberately using his image to challenge racist caricatures and portray African Americans with dignity. Frederick Douglass died on February 20th, 1895, in Washington, D.C. His funeral drew thousands of mourners, both black and white, a testament to the impact he had on the nation. A legacy that still inspires. The life of Frederick Douglass is a beacon of resilience, intellect, and unyielding commitment to justice. Born into chains, he broke them not only for himself, but also helped blaze a trail for millions to follow. His words, still widely read today, continue to challenge societies to uphold the values of equality, freedom, and human dignity. In today's world, where debates about racial justice, systemic inequality, and civil rights continue to rage, Douglass's voice echoes louder than ever. His life reminds us that the fight for freedom is never over, and that even one voice, when raised with courage and conviction, can change the world. If you found this story of Frederick Douglass inspiring, consider sharing it with others. Don't forget to like, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most transformative figures. Thank you for watching.